Reality number 4 means that left to ourselves, we will pursue our will in the name of Jesus because we seek the interests of man rather than the interests of God. And so we ask ourselves, what is God forming in us? What is God forming in us? The answer is through the cross, altered hearts. And we see these 7 realities. The first one, you must do what you cannot do with what you do not have for the rest of your lives. The second one, I will do what I can do through you. I'll take what little you have and I will multiply it and I will do it through you and I will involve you with me. And I will give you this place of opportunity. You will be able to do what only I could do because I'm going to do it through you. But you have to remember this. You have to deal with a hardened heart. Because you see, a hardened heart is a heart that says the right thing, but totally misses the point. Peter, you're right. He is the Christ, the Son of the living God. Peter, you think like Satan. Why? Because of this hardened heart, our minds are misfocused. We pursue the interests of man rather than the interests of God. In the name of Jesus, and left to ourselves, we will pursue our will in the name of Jesus because we seek the interests of man rather than the interests of God. Now, like Peter, we may have a basis for some of our thinking. He had prophecy, he had history, he had reality that gave him identity, and then there's a crown. But Jesus brought Peter into what we can think of as a cross-crown decision. Because Jesus said to Peter, you must take up a cross. And this raised a great question mark in Peter's mind. Let me help you to understand what was going on inside of Peter. Peter had established knowledge. He had established knowledge based on the Bible. All of his thinking was biblical in its foundation. The problem is, it was distorted. And his established knowledge, as we have said, spoke in terms of prophecy, history, and reality. They gave him a crown, and that meant his identity. So he had this established knowledge, but his established knowledge ran into new information, brand new information. And the new information was the cross. But you know what? In the ancient world, the cross was an obscene word. It's a great quote from Cicero. It says, don't even let it enter your mind. Don't even ever say the word. It's an obscene word. Let no one even think about, talk about, ever discuss the cross. That's Cicero. It's repulsive. Just say one big no. So Peter had established knowledge, new information, and his established knowledge ran into his core expectations. His core expectations are a crown, not a cross. And Peter stands there with this crown and this cross in his mind, and this question, which will I choose? Crown, cross. Crown, cross. Crown, cross. I know that's a very hard choice at all. So we see him with his established knowledge, his new information, and his core expectations. We can see exactly what happened. He went through the whole sequence, and he goes right back to his established knowledge. Why? Because that's how we work. See, we have core expectations. And when the Lord gives us new information, maybe it's new information about me as a husband. And maybe the Lord is using my wife to say to me, you have some needs. You're doing some things. They're hurting me. And then I go to my core expectations and I look at that and I think, well, that's the way it ought to be. And I go right back to my established knowledge and I basically am saying to my wife, adjust. Live with it. I want my crown. what Peter did.